Grand Prix. And if I start mumbling, bear with me because I've had a long day. I've been out today. And I smell good too. I smell good, so if I get distracted just a bit, it means I smell it myself because I smell good. Jesus Christ, the perfume I put on today was quite strong. I can still smell it now after a few hours. And it's on my arm too, so just bear with me if I start getting ahead of myself. As the German Grand Prix, what a better place to start it here. So you know the procedure. In this league, it is an 18-minute qualifying session, short qualifying. The people who start in the top 10 have to start their tyres. They set their fastest lap on, as you know that, inside the top 10. It would be the Q2 rule if it was full qualifying. But boys, welcome to the street. Oh, it's heavy rain. Look at that. Heavy rain. This is going to spice things up. Hopefully we can see a mixture of strategies in the qualifying session and in the rain, because I have no idea what the weather is like in the rain. So, is these weather conditions enough to put these guys on the inters or on the full wets? We'll have a look, shall we? Intermediate tyres are going on to all drivers, so not standing conditions, it looks like it's treacherous conditions, but it's not enough. As we can see, some drivers are coming out of the pits. The Haas, which is, we'll have a look now, they're skeeving in the Red Bull, and I have some sound issues. Yippee. Love it when I have sound issues. There we go then, on board with a quiet Haas. It is the Ginger now. I think the Ginger loves these conditions because I've seen him race in the wet before, and his pace is absolutely amazing. This must be our third race in a row that we've had rain. How many wet sessions are we going to have? Good point from someone who commented in the chat. Why is it always raining? I don't know. I think they're basing the weather off the British weather and putting it in. No, I'm joking, they're not doing that. So then an interesting qualifying session with no sound whatsoever, so I don't have to look at that Ginger sliding all over the place. Look at that, he slid off the track. So it must be difficult in these kind of situations. Lovely non-board audio. You can see Skeever in the background and the Ferrari of Westy. It's raining here as in Denmark. It is raining in England just a bit. It's been raining all day in England. So here it is then, round the final corner does the Ginger on his lap time, on the intermediate tyres. Where will he choose to brake? At the 100 metre board, down into turn 1 we go. Takes the middle part of the track, braking down to the second corner, 100 metre board, short shifts into third, into fourth as well to minimise that wheel spin on the exit. Try not to scrub off too much speed, hug the curb on the inside there to minimise the time. Coming up to the fourth corner, 100 metre board yet again, short shift into first gear, rotate the car as much as possible on exit, short shift to minimise that wheel spin on exit, and there we go. Flat through the right hand. I didn't see him lift off. Maybe I didn't see him because I just looked away, but as he yet again struggling through these part of the corners, this is where he's had a bit of a moment on his outlap, but no moments through this sector 2. Coming towards the end of the sector 2, we saw, well, I don't want any of you to be reminded of this, but Sebastian Vettel crashed in 2018, which was a horrible memory. I doubt it will happen again like it happened here at the ice skate ring, as Martin Bunda will call it. Many drivers went off at this particular part of the track, but it's not real life F1, so I doubt many drivers will be doing that. And it's a 23.3 for the Ginger. Skeever comes across the line and he sets, okay, must have got it validated. Westy's in second place in the Ferrari. Our medium pilot has gone quickest overall. It is a 1:22.4, so over a second quicker than the Ginger already. Taze Leroy into fifth place. Here is Zenkri then in the Mercedes on a lap. coming through sector 2. At the end of sector 2, coming into sector 3. And there's his teammate just up ahead, and Josh has gone up into second place, a 1:22.8, so he's 4 tenths off of Medium Pilot's best lap time so far. He missing the apex into the penultimate corner, sliding all over the place as Zenki comes across the line. I think that could be in a validation running too wide, and it puts him up into 10th place, pushes Leroy outside the top 10. We'll see. There's Skeven probably going for a second attempt, as he might have invalidated his first attempt. 56.4 through the middle set. I don't know what the best time is. Going slightly out wide through there. We saw Sebastian Vettel make a mistake. We got yellows through sector 1 and sector 2. Now it's just sector 2, so he might have made a mistake. Coming through the final corner. In fourth gear, he took those final 2 corners, and it's a 23.0. He puts himself up into 4th place. Aaron Collingwood is in 5th place in the Haas. The Gingers in 6th. And Taze Leroy has gone up into 3rd place. Good effort from the young Williams driver. He's only a few hundreds off of Josh, and they're both 4 tenths off of this driver, Medium Pilot, in 1st place. Let's see what SSR Phoenix does. He's up into 15th place. It's a 24.5, so he needs to get improving on that lap time. There's two drivers who are compromising themselves, and that's Aaron Collingwood, and that's one of the Red Bulls, I think. One ball with Thomas. Aaron's in the pits, and there's the Red Bull. If it's a Red Bull, I don't know. What lap time will this be? A 28.6, so he's 4 seconds off of SSR Phoenix. Sparks in 2nd, Josh in 3rd, Taze Leroy in 4th place, Skeven in 5th. Now I don't know what the weather's going to be like in the actual race, so we'll find out as we end this qualifying session in 11 minutes to see what the weather is like. So far it's always been raining ever since we've been in HTA for some reason. Ginger is still in P8. Paris in the Red Bull going for another lap. He's behind Sparks. Will that compromise him? Because I don't think Sparks is on an actual lap. I think he's just on his out lap. I think he should get out of the way. He's on to 0, and that could compromise Paris just a bit. Now that's a bit of a naughty from Sparks. He should get out of the way much earlier, because he might have distracted Paris as he entered that corner. So what will Paris do? It's a 22.7. Medium Pilot's on fire. 22.2. And he's somewhat 5 tenths quicker than 2nd place. Unbelievable for Medium Pilot. He's on a pad as well. Next is Legende on another lap, in 12th place currently, behind the Ginger, 3 tenths away from the Ginger as well. Pad OP in the rain, as they would say. The Renault driver of Josh gets nicely out of the way for next is Legende, entering sector 3. Can he keep it nice and tidy to set a decent lap time to try and get himself in the top 10? He's 6 tenths off from 10th place, or 5 tenths shall I say. Come through the final corner, and let's see what he can do as he comes across the line and does a 1:23.8. So he's 2 tenths slower than his best lap time. Phoenix comes back into pits, as does Medium Pilot. The Ginger, as he go for another lap, doesn't look like it from the ERS, is still on 0. S2V Paris, as he go for another lap, 3 seconds off, so I don't think so. Probably coming to the pits, and he does. Sparks on his out lap, so let's see what he can do. You can tell he's on his out lap because on the left hand side of the screen he's put a brand new set of intermediates, whereas other drivers have done 3 or 4 laps, because apparently your 2nd or 3rd best lap time, your 2nd or 3rd attempt is much better in the rain. It's happened to myself before. I've gone out on the same set for about 2 or 3 laps, and it's improved. I don't know what reason that is, but I think the more laps you do, the more laps you can feel comfortable on them. And the fuel load goes down as well. I don't know how much fuel they put in the car, but quite a lot, judging by how many laps they've done. Paris Sparks gets out of the way for Josh, and that's an awkward place to get out of the way. Should have let him. He should have slowed down before that corner. He's gone 5/10 quicker in the middle sector. Has Josh? If he keeps this up, it'll probably be in a 22. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 22.3. Yeah, 22.3 if he keeps this up. He gain more time through the final sector. Oh, the Haas has spun, and so has Josh. Josh has hit the wall and he's retired. Josh has hit the wall and he's retired. The Haas comes back onto the track. So both of them. Josh has got the worst of it. So that's him out of the qualified session. Alan Collingwood's got away with it. Why can't we have a dry quality and race for F's sake? I don't know. It makes things much quicker. But what I set the time limit for the qualified session, so it don't make any difference. But it can slow the race down. So on Sparks then, off-board Sparks. You saw 4 cars in the background behind Sparks. Aaron Collingwood being one of them. The Toro Rosso, the Alfa Romeo. So they're all close together. Here comes the full dry race. So not bad then. So these drivers must be on the dry setups. I can see loads of them standing about, so they must be on the dry setups. Sparks 1.5 Zegri goes second in the Bourne. Sparks 1.5 seconds slower in the middle sector, so not a good lap time, but he put his ERS in 0. On board with the Lotus of Diego. He gets out of the way, so he's not completing that lap. There's the Red Bull in the background, not Skeeven, so it's the other Red Bull of, where is he? Paris. Yellow flags through sector 1 and 2 again. We're on board with Paris. 37th thousandths slower in the first sector. That's his personal best lap time. The difference from 30th to 40th, someone wants me to point that out. It's quite a big difference, half a second slower. As the McLaren gets nicely out of the way for the Jaguar of Paris. As you can see, you can hear the track commentator in the background. Skeeven gets nicely out of the way for his teammate, as does the Mercedes, who's popped on the apex of the corner. These cars are close together. The last qualified session in what's it called, the German Grand Prix, which was wet. Let me think about it. 2015, there's no German Grand Prix. It was actually 2012. Was it the 2012 qualified session for the German Grand Prix, which was wet? Yes, it was. I think so. I think Fernando Alonso took pole in 2012. I think he did. Shame this track is going next year. It's a lovely track, and the Aaron Collingwood's gone quickest. It's a 1:22.2, so Aaron's improved dramatically. It was a 23.1, now he's improved by 9/10, so good lap time from Aaron. There's medium pilot, 10th up in the first sector. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Who took pole in qualifying in 2012 in the standing conditions? I think Fernando Alonso won the race, but did he take pole at the same time, or was that Mark Webber? Yellow flags to sector 2 and 3. On board with the McLaren, the medium pilot. Can he snatch pole away from Aaron Collingwood? I don't know what his middle sector was, but here all counts. He could lose it dramatically. Get out too wide on there, you'll lose the car and you'll get invalidated. Can he get the 21s? Is it going to be a 21.7? Look at that, 5 tenths quicker than Aaron Collingwood, and he beats his personal lap time by 5 tenths as well. So good lap time from the McLaren driver. On board with the Jaguar of Skeven, 7 tenths quicker. He's got a 22.3. Sparks in the pits, Paris in the pits, Zegri in the pits. Thomas, is he coming in the pits? Yeah, he is coming in the pits. Taze Leroy, let's see what he could do in these wet conditions. Does the conditions look like he's getting better? I won't say drier, but getting better. Taze Leroy has just lost a bit of time through the Sebastian Vettel corner instead of the Sachs corner, as it was called. Martin Bunder calls this corner the ice skate ring. Of course, the last wet race was 2019. What am I talking about? Of course it was 2019 GP. How could I forget all about that? There was no GP in Hockenheim for the 2013. It was the Nürburgring where Sebastian Vettel won that. Then they returned to Hockenheim in 2014. Rosberg won that. 2015, there was no German Grand Prix whatsoever. 2016 was the Hockenheim Grand Prix. Rosberg took pole, Hamilton won the race. 2017, nope. 2018. So why does it skips 2 years and comes back? Does the German Grand Prix? But we had it in 2019. It's quite a funny one, to be honest. 2011 it was in the Nürburgring. Then 2012 it returned to the Hockenheim. Hello to the person in the chat. Yeah, quite strange why it returns, then leaves and returns. But I'm going to miss this track though. It's a lovely track to drive around in. 2018 wasn't particularly good because of the tyre wear. I mean the game, not the actual race itself. Westy's got up into second place. It's a 22.1. Sparks, Paris, Zegri are all on their outlaps. Zegri close to Sparks. Thomas is on his outlap. Taze Leroy is up into second place. The young Irishman has put himself on the front row alongside Media Pilot. 9 tenths up and binned it. I saw the crash, mate. I saw the crash. I saw you with 9 tenths up. It was looking like it was going to be a good lap, but unfortunately for you, where are you now? Down in 12th place? You could better hope the guys behind you not improve. From South America, supporting Diego, the Peru Bullet. Diego is currently in 13th place. He could improve it to 12th. Is he on a lap time? We'll have a check. Yes, he is on a lap time, so we'll go on board with him and let's see what he does in the second sector. It's an improvement by 5 tenths. So if he continues this pace, it'll be a 22.3, and that'll put him up to 8th place. He can make loads of time through the third sector. Yellow flags dropping everywhere. Car ahead of him, but that won't matter because he's coming through the final corner. And it will be a 21.8. Now that puts him up into 13th place apparently. He must have validated that. There's Rob on his flying lap. Currently in 14th place. Not in a good position so far, but this will be his last chance to try make any amends to his current position. Mickey Literacy and his teammate Phoenix on their laps. Taze Leroy is second place. Westy third. Will go on board. Media Pilot, who's just started his brand new lap because he's on those. Paris has gone quicker. It's a 1:21.2. So these lap times are coming in. Paris has just gone quicker. Let's see where Sparks is. Aaron Collingwood, I think he's on his lap. Skeever's just behind Paris. I think he's getting a lovely slipstream, by the way, from his teammate Paris. Medium Pilot Sparks is on pole. Sparks has just put him up to pole position. It's a 1:21.0 ahead of his teammate Zegri. So it's a Mercedes 1-2, just like in qualifying in 2019. Paris, though, he let his teammate have a lovely slipstream. But what about Medium Pilot? What can this driver do? Can he get himself back on pole position? Mickey Ulitzi, a 1:21.2. Joint with Zegri, 1:21.2 club. Joint with Paris. Paris has just dropped into 4th. Thomas, 5th place. A TTG Thomas, 21.3. Media Pilot, though, 5 tenths quicker than final sector. Let's hope no one holds him up. Westy gets beautifully out of the way for the McLaren driver. Rob, just put him up to pole position. Rob is on pole. It's a 121.0, a few hundreds quicker than Sparks in the Mercedes. Good effort. He's coming to the pits. Why has he came to the pits? I wonder if he invalidated it. He had made a mistake, and he has. So Media Pilot has invalidated it on course to be on pole position, but has threw it all away due to an invalidation. Aaron Collingwood has just gone quickest. It's a 120.9, the first driver in the 120s. Good effort from the Haas driver. He's joint front row with Rob in second place. Is that a Mercedes who's just crashed? Zekri, he's just lost his wheel, but he's in fourth place and finished in qualified, so it don't really matter. I think qualified is over. Yes, it is over. So Zekri's put it in the wall. Who else is left out there? I think everybody's done, so there's your qualified. Apparently should be a dry race, as I finally get sound back. So it is Aaron Collingwood's first place ahead of Rob, Sparks, Zekri in third and fourth, Mickey Litzy fifth place ahead of Paris, Thomas in eighth. 7th, Media Pilot 8th, Taze, Leroy in 9th, Westy rounds off the top 10, Phoenix just outside the top 10 11th, Skeeven in 12th, Legende 13th, The Ginger 14th, Josh in 15th, and Diego in 16th place. I'm guessing the podium. Well, good luck for that. Media Pilot though, what can he do in this race? Can he get back up there? He had a validation. He was on course to be on pole position, but unfortunately threw it all away because of the validation. So a dry race. So I don't think major drama will happen in this race. If you reverse it, reverse pole position. Well, if it was reverse pole, I think everybody would start last. Diego on podium today. Diego, who currently starts in last place, but hopefully it'll be a good race for him. Don't know if he's strong in the German Grand Prix. I like this track, I really do. It's a shame it's going away in 2020. I think it's definitely something to do with money. Whether the government's backing it up, I don't know. And definitely the government's not backing the British GP up. On the formation lap, let's see what drivers, because remember anyone could go on any tyres they want. Because it was a wet qualifying session, all the drivers could start whatever tyre they want. Yes, the two different tyre compounds still apply. Oh, Aaron Collingwood is starting on the hards. We'll go on board with him. Yes, he's definitely on the hards. Along with Rob, who's on the mediums, Sparks on the hards. No one has opted to go to the softs, which is the correct strategy. No one wants to go to the softs because they tend to die out within 5 or 6 laps. So Aaron Collingwood's the most durable tyre on all. Rob with the most moderate grip with the moderate wear. Sparks in third place. Let's get Sparks in third place. Hards. Zekri. So both Mercedes going on different strategies. Mickey Litzy is also on the mediums, along with Paris, who's gone on to the hards. Thomas has been disqualified from the session, I think. Yes, he has, because you can't see him. Yeah, so Media Pilot has gone on to the hards. Leroy's gone on to the hards. Westy on the hards. Phoenix is on the hards. Skeeven is on the mediums. Legende is on the mediums. Ginger's on the hards. Josh is on the hards, and so is Diego. No one on the soft tyres, which is the correct choice. If someone went on those soft tyres, yes, they'll pull out in 1, 2, 3 laps, but the tyres will dramatically drop off the cliff, and therefore the guys who are on the mediums and hards will catch up on the back of your tail. Round 3 of the not FRL, how can I say? Round 3 of the HGA Championship. We all line up for the grid then. We'll find out who will get a better start. I think Rob will get a better start than Aaron because he's on the medium tyres. Better grip on the mediums than the hards. There's the lights in the foreground. And it is lights out, away we go. I think the top two. Aaron's got a better start than Rob. The two Mercedes go side by side into the first corner. Which of the Mercedes has it into the first corner? It's Zegri ahead of Sparks. So he's leading the Mercedes duo. But they're still side by side as we come into the second corner. Sparks just ahead. Zegri just ahead as the Red Bull tries to go down the inside. But he's compromised himself because that's allowed the Toro Rosso to get through him. And they both go side by side now. Where's the Toro Rosso gone? I think the Toro Rosso just might have spun. Yes, he has. Mick Ulitzy has just dropped down into 9th place. He's just lost quite a lot of positions there. The top two, Rob versus Aaron. Down the inside goes Rob, pushing Aaron out wide. He goes off the track in the process. Aaron just stays ahead of Rob, coming back onto the track. Aaron goes defensive straight away, but Rob tries to go down the inside but doesn't make it. And Zegri is ahead of his teammate as expected because he's on those better tyres on the mediums as well. Zegri going out wide. There's been a big moment in the background. There's no crashes, fortunately. That was the Red Bull. There's yellow to set to 3, and that's a Ferrari and a Mick Ulitzy. I saw a Ferrari in the process as well. Reset to track, and that's Westy. So both of them, well, that's quite weird because they were nowhere near each other, I think. So they both made separate incidents, but on the same part of the track. Rob is leading the race, shall I say. He's ahead of Aaron. So somewhere in that lap, the third sector, he's managed to make it ahead of Aaron. But Aaron's on the slipstream, but look at the overspeed he has on Rob. Into the second corner we go, down the inside. Rob will get the switch back though. If he doesn't, he'll get a lovely slipstream, but he's alongside with him. Oh, there's been contact! That's Aaron, gone off to the track. So Aaron, did he leave enough room there for Rob? And he's retired. Felix is retired in fact. Aaron hasn't retired. And he's collected Felix. He might have collected Felix in the process. Zegri goes down the inside of Rob Force. Zegri is up in position, but Aaron, did he make contact with SSR Felix? Because he said he's got a time penalty for colliding with SSR Felix. He's got a bit front wing damage as well. Zegri looks like he's struggling through the corners. And Fire Felix is not happy as he commented through the chat, so that's the most unlucky thing ever, he says in the chat. So that's his race ruined. And Aaron Collingwood is ruined. I don't know whose fault is that. I've got to go rewind the stream and see whose fault it is. Come on, Diego. Diego is currently in 10th place in the points position. Zegri's just set the fastest lap of the race. DRS is enabled. And Zegri already gets a time penalty for cutting the corners on lap 3. Don't want to be doing that too often. In the background I see someone skeeving. Looks like he just made a mistake through that first corner. So we've got Nexus Legenda in the pits already. Zegri already getting a time penalty as Rob has got DRS on Zegri. Will he try and go down the inside? It's turn 4, heavy braking zone. Slots in behind. Doesn't think about it, but Rob is in a Mercedes sandwich. Zegri on a fresher tyre, well, better tyre shall I say. And then Sparks, both Mercedes splitting their strategies and splitting their chances. For some reason, Thomas is still in the pits, so I don't know what's going on with him. Oh, Zegri's gone slightly out wide. Probably pick up a warning for that as well, knowing Codemaster's logic. Looks to me Zegri's struggling through the corners. Looks like it's a heavy. The car's a bit heavy on the front because he's going out wide in the corners. Look, he's gone out wide through the final corner. That'll probably be. And here's yellow flags. So what's happened? I think that's Media Pilot who's just made a bit of a mistake, but he's managed to correct it. And he's got the Red Bull for company as well. Go back on board with the top 3. See what's happened. So Media Pilot's trying to make his way from 8th place, but he's made a mistake. And look at the Ginger, who's 7th place. He started outside the top 10. So doing a fantastic so far as the Ginger. Look at Zegri. Moving all over the place on the straight, and Rob is going around the outside. It's turn 4, but Zegri has the inside line and takes his racing line and still in first place. Good effort from Rob, but it's not quite enough. Go further back. Any more moves being done? Skeever behind Media Pilot. Westy, who made a collision, possibly with Mikulitsi. I don't know if it's confirmed they both made contact, but they both went off on the same part of the track. Well, it's a separate incident, but the same part of the track as Aris left the session. Look at that, Sparks versus Paris. Could watch this all day. A bit of drama in the chat because apparently Paris got exposed by Sparks for something. I don't know what he got exposed by, and he's not using his DRS for some reason. As Leroy gets a penalty for cutting corners, down in 5th place. Josh is currently under pressure from the Ginger behind in 7th. Media Pilot has just dropped back. Rob Force, can you make this overtake done? We'll have to try and go down the inside of Zegui. But he will go down the inside himself. Into turn 4 we go. Heavy braking zone. Zegui will do the switchback. Lovely switchback from Zegui. Lovely position of the car there from Zegui. Much better exit, much better traction out the corner. Zegui doing an outstanding job to keep Rob behind him. Tricky to get out of his DRS and slipstream. There's 3 DRS zones on this track. And Paris is still looking to try and make a move. I think the Ginger has made his way through Josh as well, so Ginger and Josh are swap places. Ginger up into 6th place. So where did he start actually? Where did he start? Made up 8 places, so he started 14th. Good effort from the Ginger so far. But again, the top 4 still not settled it. The Racing Point is much closer. Can he get a much better exit out of turn 3 and 4, or 3 shall I say. It's much closer. Can he get this overtake done? Zegui go defensive on the inside. Will Zegui do another switchback move? He won't, because Rob has the inside covered. And Rob is ahead. There's been a change of leadership on lap 6, so Rob is ahead of Zegui. Will both Mercedes drivers fight it out? Will Zegui? I don't think Zegui will let Sparks through. He has no reason to let him through. They're both fighting. I don't think there's no strategy going on between the 2 Mercedes drivers. I think it's just their personal choice and reference on the tyres. I don't think they're splitting the strategy. Zegui going out wide yet again. I don't think there's not enough front end on that car, because look, he's going wide through the final exit again. Needs to be careful doing that. I don't know if he's running a wet setup. Well, I can't be running a wet setup, because if he did, we'd drop him back even further. The Ginger has got a tyre penalties, and Paris, oh, look at Taze Leroy down in 5th place, looking interested. The young PSGL champion in 5th place. Look at the change, leadership again, because Zegui's going for it. Oh, down the inside! He made a late move, and has it paid off? He goes deep into the corner, and no, that allows Rob to stay. Look at Taze Leroy. He's side by side. Well, he was side by side, but he slots it behind the Red Bull. But that was a late move of Rob Zegui there. Bold, brave move. And down the inside goes the Williams of S2V Paris. And has he got it done? Yes, he has. So, good move for Taze Leroy there. Took his opportunity and went down the inside and sent it on the Red Bull. Got some good racing going on here. Maybe I need to take notes. So Josh has got ahead of the Ginger. So Josh and Ginger have their own personal scrap, bringing along Media Pilot with them. Skeeven in 9th place, and Diego rounding outside the top 10. And someone supporting Diego as well in the chat. Mikulitsi in 11th. Looks like he's struggling. So does Westy. But bearing in mind, those two had their little spin on turn 1. Not turn 1, lap 1 shall I say. Zegui tucked in behind Rob Forbes. Can he get it done? Into the chicane. Hairpin shall I say. Ooh. Getting so close is the Red Bull, not the Red Bull, Mercedes and Racing Point. Down the inside goes Rob. Looks like Mercedes had a bit of an advantage. Out that corner, getting a much better exit. Look at the background, the Renault going off the track. as the Ginger tries to put pressure on him and tries to overtake him too, but the Ginger still behind the Renault. Good top 5 fight, but they're stuck in a DRS train. And look at Rob all over the back. This is the problem with this track. You try to overtake someone, you do it, but then it just comes straight back at you because of the powerful slipstream by DRS. Love this track, I do. It's a shame it's going away. I've said it many times. I look at Zenkrey going off the track, as I've said many times. So easy to cut the first corner. You either cut the first corner or you go out wide at the exit of the first corner. Four tenths between the top two. On board with Rob. Where will he go? Down the inside? Yes, he will. Down the inside he goes. It's turn 4. On the brakes. Let's see who gets a better exit. Pushes him slightly out wide. Oh, he actually hits him. And he spins. He's spinning. He's spun. And that's it for Zenkrey. Whose fault should Rob leave a bit of the... Oh, he hit the wall for good measure as well. He's lost half of his front wing. So that's Zenkrey's race ruined. I won't say over. There's still... Yes, it is over. It is over. So that's the Mercedes out of the race then. So whose fault was that then? Rob, or should Rob leave just a bit enough room for Zenkrey? Did Zenkrey get a bit of tank slapper on the exit? We'll see. Shall see. Oh, we'll soon find out. Because I can't speak proper English today for some reason. Let me just rewind that. So Zenkrey around the outside, Rob down the inside. Look at Taze Leroy. Zenkrey saying thanks for the room. I don't know if I'm in a good place to say this. I watched it now, but watching the Sparks battle. And look at that Taze Leroy under pressure from S2V Paris. He's going to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does. Around the outside beautifully. Perfectly executed there from the Red Bull. But look at the background. There's more drivers fighting it out. The Ginger has got past Josh. There's a massive DRS train for the top 5. Down the inside goes Taze Leroy. He's fighting Paris, but he might enough. He pushed him off wide there, that's for sure. Might not have left enough room for Paris, but close for it. It was his line. But look at that, the top 5 battle, and 6, 7, 8, 9th and 10th are fighting it out. Well, 10th is away, so 6, 7, 8th and 9th. A 5-way battle for 5th, and a 5-way battle for 1st. Well, 4-way battle should I say, because one of them has dropped out. So we've got half of the field fighting for the 1st, and the other half fighting for 6th place. Cheers for the room. I want to see Legenda's retire for the session, and he was in 12th place as well. I want to see the footage from Zenkrey. Sparks all over the back of Rob. Can he make this move done? Will Rob try and go down the inside? No, he doesn't. And Paris has just got past Taze Leroy as well, but what about further behind? Josh is down the inside of the Ginger. These two will not start fighting it out. The Ginger is ahead of Josh, but look at the McLaren looking all fighty. That's BD and Pilot going down the inside. Josh tries to stay with him, but has to concede defeat from Medium Pilot. So, can Rob stick behind Sparks? I want to see the footage between Zenkrey and Rob. It looked like, from my point of view, Rob did leave just enough room. Because I rewind it back, and Rob did leave enough room. I think Zenkrey got a bit... I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. A bit wobbly on the throttle there, the exit of the corner. I don't know whose fault it was, but I want to see the onboard footage of both drivers. I want to see if Rob left enough room. I want to see if Zenkrey made a mistake coming out the corner. Did you get lap 3? I don't know what happened lap 3 because I've been watching this battle. There's been a lot of action going on so far. You've got Robs versus Sparks, and in the background Paris versus Leroy. And Leroy goes down the inside of Paris. Now, Taze Leroy tried to do a Nico Rosberg by not turning in for the corner. And the Ginger has made it past Medium Pilot. What happened to Josh? He started 7th place, so quite a distance away from Medium Pilot. The Ginger has actually caught up to Paris and Taze Leroy. The top two have got a bit of breathing space between them, and Leroy gets a penalty as well. Taze Leroy fighting hard against S2V Paris. Aaron Bates back onto the track and smashed me in Phoenix. So we collected 2 drivers there, not 1. But the driver who came out the worst of it was SSR Phoenix. Can you upload the footage so I can see it? Because I didn't get. I knew Aaron spun, but I didn't know how we collected SSR Phoenix. The top 2, Rob versus Sparks. Come on, Rob, let's see what you can do. 2 talented drivers, Rob and Sparks. You saw it. Paris is quite a distance away from Leroy now, so I don't think he will fight him. But what about Sparks and Rob's? Daniel goes, no he doesn't, he stays behind him. He's trying to get a much better exit than Sparks. Further back, the Ginger has caught up with Paris. Medium Pilot is sticking with him too. I don't speak Spanish, bro. I don't understand what you're saying, bro. Try and put that in English, please. Pondes sos el... I don't know what it says, mate. The driver you're supporting is currently in 9th place and he's 4 tenths away from Skeven. CC. I don't know what he's saying, but I can't translate that because I'm too busy watching this. So Diego is on the back of Skeven. There's a massive DRS train. This is what I expected in the race, a massive DRS train to happen. Rob is in the pits for his first stop. So Rob is the first person to pull the trigger as Paris kicks up a bit of dirt on the first corner. Skeven's got a 3-second time penalty. And where will Rob rejoin? He rejoins on the medium, on the hard, shall I say. So he's just trying to go for the undercut. Why don't you speak Spanish? I don't know. Maybe because I don't know the language. Rob rejoins in the 13th place. Lovely traffic. No traffic ahead of him. It's currently 5 seconds away. Paris has made a move on Taze Leroy. And Paris goes out wide and allows Leroy to have the cutback. But the Ginger's alongside with S2V Paris as well. The Jaguar goes down the inside on the Mercedes Stadium. And the Jaguar can't quite make it. But in the background, what's Medium Pilot doing? Does he know it? Does he know where the track is? And he's lost the position to Josh as well. So the Ginger is now in the podium position, despite being quite far away from Paris the early part of the race. So Mercedes driver Sparks has to extend the stint on the hards to try and make it end on the medium tyres. Along with Taze Leroy, who's done an outstanding job in the Williams there in 2nd place. The Ginger in 3rd, along with the Jaguar in 4th, the Renault in 5th, Medium Pilot in 6th, Skeven in 7th in the Red Bull. The Ginger's got a penalty, he's spun! That's Josh, he's just spun out of the race! Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, Josh was having... Virtual safety car is deployed, but Rob has just cut the corner. The virtual safety car has been deployed. No one will make a pit stop because the virtual safety car does end quite early, so no one will probably make a pit stop. They're all set to a time limit. So, commiserations to Josh there in 11th place. Don't know what happened to Thomas, by the way. He was in qualifying but just did not appear for the race. So he decided to take part in qualifying and not turn up for the race. So, how long will this virtual safety car go out for? This could play into Sparks' hand. If this virtual safety car stay out any longer, it will play into Sparks' hands. How long will this virtual... I don't think anyone will make a pit stop. If you're on the medium tyres... Cabias, Casper, Hablos Español. Oh, looks like Sparks going to come into the pits. How long is this virtual safety car going to stay out for? Leroy's in the pits too. Ginger stays out, and it's gone. The virtual safety car has gone. So have those two made a mistake by going to the pits? And look at that. Paris is on the back. I think Paris might have a DRS problem because he might not use a DRS. He's not using DRS. That's why he might be struggling on the straights. Sparks and Leroy, have they made the right choice to go to the pits? Where's Rob? There is Rob, he's on the medium tyres. I think it's too early to pit. Can he make it to the end on those medium tyres? It could be a bit early to pit. He will have the advantage of Rob at this particular stage of the race, but at the end of the race, he will struggle on those medium tyres. It is early to pit, I think. The Ginger has gone off the track and Paris has got through. I think it could be a bit too early for the medium tyres to be fitted on. So Leroy and Sparks have made their choice and Phoenix has left the session. Leroy is behind Rob Forbes. Interesting then, we'll see what the other drivers will do. Yes, but bad choice. I think he should have extended his hard stint. That's what he should have done. Because look at these drivers, they're not coming to the pits. Not even Skeever's not coming to the pits. And he's on the... oh yes, he's coming to the pits. He's expected to come into the pits because he's on the medium tyres. The medium tyres won't start to drop away and he will switch onto the hards. So interestingly, Skeever's done 16 laps on those medium tyres. They can make it to the end, they will just be in the bad at the end. That's what I'm thinking. Paris, Ginger and Medium Pilot. Look at Medium Pilot, he's back in the action. He had a shocking qualifying because he invalidated his last run and now he's there. They're stuck in the DRS trade. There's Diego in 4th place. Diego's in a good position in 4th place. Westy's in 5th, despite having that first lap incident with Mick Ulitzzi. I don't know if it was with Mick Ulitzzi, because they both ended up on different parts of the track, and I don't think they were close to each other, so I think they might have just spun. Because I think the mediums or whatever, I think the fuel load might have caught them out, the weight of the car and all that. So this could be an interesting race then. Could be a bad choice to fit the not the intermediates, medium tyres on. Back on board with the top three, we've got the Jaguar in 1st place, ahead of the Ginger, ahead of Medium Pilot. The Ginger all over the back of Paris, but I don't think Paris has DRS because he's not been using it. Westy's in the pits to change his tyres. Sparks has just set the fastest lap. Now if he keeps doing fastest laps, his tyres will definitely start to wear out at the end. And the medium's not resist at the end. Look at that, the Ginger. Easy overtake for the Ginger. What about Medium Pilot? Is he going to be interested? Yes he is, Dad! No he's not. So Paris will outbrake Medium Pilot into the corner. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Lovely. He's carrying the Ginger. Look at that. Well, that's not what you see every day, but where is Sparks? Down in 5th place. He could be in a bad position, you know. If he keeps setting fastest lap after fastest lap, then his tyres will be definitely in a state. How hard is he going to push on these mediums? Will he try and conserve them in this race, or at this part of the race, and then use them at the end of the race? Taze Leroy, what about him? He's just got past Rob, but that's expected because Rob on all the tyres than Leroy. Medium Pilot's in the pits, so on lap 19 he has decided to come into the pits. I don't think rape is allowed on YouTube, but Paris, is he going to use DRS? Yes he is, so he's finally using his DRS. Whether it was broken but now it's fixed, we've got a bit of lag between Paris and Ginger, and he will go down the inside, coming into turn 4, heavy braking zone. But the Ginger try and get a nice, good exit coming out of this corner. We'll stick behind him. Diego's in 3rd place. Sparks is there in 4th place. Taze Leroy in 5th. So he's been under pressure from Rob. And down the inside goes the Racing Point on the Williams. 2 Mercedes engines, of course. Leroy gets a much better exit than Rob, expected to be on those medium tyres compared to Rob's hards. So Leroy's just ahead at the moment. Medium Pilot's in 7th place on the fresh medium tyres. Skeever in 8th on the hards. And Mick Ulitzzi on 9th, or on the mediums in 9th. Westy in 10th. Thomas in the pits because he did not start the race. Diego is leading this race. How is he led? What? How did Diego lead this race? So here comes the hard runners into the pits. So the top 3 have came to the pits. How did Diego lead this race? Rob has left the session. Rob has left the session. What's going on? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There's. But I'm a bit confused in this race. Some weird shit's happening in this race. Paris, will he get ahead of Mick Ulitzy? There is Mick Ulitzy. How hard will this fight it out? Not too hard. Yeah, I was expecting. I should have spectated. I was expecting nothing to happen between the top three. There is Sparks then, alone in the race. But will his medium tyres hold on? That's the question. How hard is he going to push on this set of mediums? He's got Taze Leroy behind him, who's also put in the same lap. It could be an advantage. It could be not. It's an advantage now because they're ahead. They've got track position. But at the end of the race, those medium tyres will not last 18 laps on the mediums. There's Medium Pilot in the background in third place, Skeevan in fourth, Diego in fifth. Diego's in a fantastic position. Did he start in last place? Yes, he did. He started in last place, in 16th place. Look at the progress he's made throughout this race, in 5th place. Rob in 6th place, he just lagged out, he's back in. Paris in 7th, Mick Ulitzy in 8th, the Ginger in 9th, Westy in 10th, Thomas in 16th, in the pits as well. Mick Ulitzy's got time penalties. There's the main battle then, Paris behind the Racing Point. We've got mixture of strategies going on. And easy overtake for Paris, but in the background, Ginger versus Mick Ulitzy, and the Ginger's got it, but the Racing Point is still going to fight with Paris, and he might have just hit him as well. No major damage, I think they both might have got away with it, but Paris up into 6th place. Can you comment on my video when I have seen it? Yeah, I'll comment on it. I'll go check it out right now while I'm watching this. Rob might have a bit of front wing damage. Did you see the way he turned in? Probably having a lack of downforce on that car. He's got the Ginger right behind him. Has he got any front wing damage? Not by the looks of it. I don't think he has. Might have got minor front wing damage. Definitely struggling in these corners. The Ginger's got an easy run on the exit of the corner. Is he going to try and make the move down into turn 1? He's got to be careful though. He pushes Rob out wide. Look at that. And the Ginger has made ahead. The Ginger has made it ahead of Rob in the Racing Point. So watching the video of Legenda to see what happened. And there's Diego ahead of Skeevan. Diego's done a fantastic job. I think Diego's in 4th place. He was in 5th, now he's up into 4th. Could he get a podium? This is a fantastic race for Diego so far. Leroy behind Medium. Well, Medium Pilot's just got ahead of Leroy. Now he's on course to catch Sparks. Medium Pilot had a bad qualifying. Now he's in 2nd place, en route to catch Sparks. Did the virtual safety car help Sparks? Or, I don't know, to be honest. We'll find out at the end of the race if it actually did. So, watching the straight right now, Medium Pilot's just set the fastest lap. He's homing in on Sparks, but look at that, Medium Pilot is under pressure still from the... Oh my goodness! Watching the video of Lexus Legende, PMP Legende, he was behind SSR Phoenix. Aaron came back onto the track and collected Phoenix and Legende. That's how they ended the race. Now that could have been avoidable, I would say. I don't think it was avoidable, to be honest. In the heat of the moment, I don't know, to be honest. I actually don't know. Any battles going on further behind? And looking at the F2 race, we've got Sippy in 1st place. He's ahead of the Mercedes. Q-Tip in 3rd, ahead of Storm. They're on lap 24. We're on lap 23 of this Grand Prix. So F2, Sippy is currently leading the way. We'll go back on board with my channel. And the first and third will not have the tyres at the end. First and third, possibly, they will probably not have, depending how good their tyre wear is, depending how much they've been looking after the tyres. We know Sparks set the fastest lap of the race. Yellowstone set to 3, and that's the Ginger! He spun at the final corner! So, what happened to the Ginger then? Who was he behind? He was behind Skeeven. Now I was on board with Skeeven when it happened, so I don't think he hit the back of him. Back on board with Westy. I was on board with Skeeven and the Ginger's retired. The Ginger has retired, but would there be a safety car? But look at this. Rob getting out-dragged by the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso, and he will have to take defeat from both drivers as they both made it past. Westy ahead of Rob. Rob's strategy has gone horrendous. He's on the oldest tyres out of all of them. Rob's strategy has not worked. So 9 drivers left in this race. 5.4 seconds is the gap between Sparks and medium pilots. 4 laps fresher old tyres. Now you know what happened in Abu Dhabi. This bad medium pilot had 3 laps fresher tyres than Sparks, and he overtook him on both stints and went on to win the race. Look at that, 3 laps fresher tyres. Can he do it again? Abu Dhabi, the last race of the last season, he had 3 laps fresher tyres and he overtook Sparks. This time again he has 3 laps fresher tyres, and can he overtake Sparks? The gap is 5 seconds. We've got 9 laps of this race. Seen a bit legende. Taze Leroy. Well, the man who's bottled it in HGA and now is in 3rd place. But he could be under pressure from Diego because he's on those old, well not old medium tyres, but he pitted with Sparks. As someone said in the chat, 1st and 3rd will lose performance at the end of the race. So Diego could be on course for a podium if he keeps his pace up and try and overtake Leroy. STV Paris in 5th ahead of Skeeven, Westy in 7th ahead of Mikulitsi. Mikulitzi's applied the pressure and Rob Forbes has not gone well for Rob whatsoever. He might have pitted a bit too early on those medium tyres and he started to lose a lot of performance. He was going to go for the undercut attempt on Sparks. The virtual safety car came out at the wrong time for him because of Josh's crash in turn 1. It has not gone well with strategy whatsoever for Rob. Sparks. The gap's 4.9 seconds. It was 5.2. Look at the gap. Closing down to 4.8 now. So Sparks is being closed down by medium pilot as Rob has came to the pits. But Rob will still score 2 points though. If he tries to go for the fastest lap, he'll score 3. No, he won't because there's a bit. Yes, he will. I think the point system has changed a bit in the HTA league. This man though, medium pilot's done an outstanding job in HTA. I think he won both races. No, he didn't. Paris won the first race. Medium pilot finished 2nd, and the Brazilian Grand Prix, medium pilot dominated that race. Diego 1.7 behind Taze Leroy. So he's definitely catching him. He will definitely catch him because those tyres Leroy fitted early in the race. Medium pilot, can he catch Sparks? The only thing that could ruin this is the safety car. Well, depending if the only thing that could ruin this for medium pilot is a virtual safety car or a safety car, because Sparks could switch on to a brand new set of tyres. Mikulitsi 8 tenths behind Westy. Westy, remember, had that first lap incident with Mikulitsi. I don't know if it was a separate incident because they were both spun off at the different parts of the track. Same part of the track but different areas, if you don't get what I mean. Robert's in the pits again. He was in the pits before, now he's got back into the pits again. He's on the hard, so did he change onto the wrong tyre on the MFD? Look at the ERS difference for Sparks and medium pilot. Can medium pilots catch Sparks? He possibly can because Sparks' tyres could possibly fade away towards the end of the Grand Prix. Diego Sainz. But he's in a Renault though. He's in a Renault. But Carlos Sainz was in a Renault though, back in 2018. Stevens drops back from, and the gap's 9 tenths. So he's brought the gap down to 8 tenths now. It says on the left hand side of the screen, Tejas Leroy will be under pressure from the man who started last in qualifying. They're both on roughly the same ERS. Tejas Leroy's got into AI and he's got dropped out of AI, so look at the overspeed he has around the outside into turn 4. Leroy will try and find this out. Diego goes all the way around the outside, pushes him slightly, and Leroy's just ahead for the time being. I could say that's fair racing. Rubbing is racing, as they say. I could say that's fair. Diego, being smart as he is, saving ERS through sector 2 and 3. Right behind him now, he will wait to the straight. Leroy struggling on his ERS saving, so is Diego, but Diego's got a bit more ERS compared to Leroy. Paris is in 5th place. Diego want to make this move as quick as possible because he got Paris catching him as well. Should be straightforward on the second straight, if not the third. Let's hope he don't make a mistake. He's done a fantastic job. He started last and now he's into 4th place. So Aaron Collingwood crashed on lap 3, I think. He took out Phoenix and Legende with him. Zenki crashed because... oh yeah, he crashed with Rob Forbes. And Diego has made the overtake on Tejas Leroy. Leroy try and fight back around the outside. Ooh. This is with Rob and Zenki crashed. Legende crashed, I don't know why. Josh crashed on the first corner. The Ginger did the same. This man will be under pressure though, because he's got the gap to 3.7 seconds between himself and Medium Pilot. Rob has just set the fastest lap as expected because he's on those brand new set of soft tyres. Coming on to lap 30 of 34. This race has absolutely flown by. Love the German Grand Prix and it's a shame it's going next year. Absolutely love it. Four laps to go. Medium Pilot. Can he try and possibly catch up to Sparks? Medium Pilot had a disaster qualifying. He was nowhere for the first part of the race. All of a sudden, he's in 2nd place and catching the leader. He was dropping back in 7th place behind the Ginger. Now, all of a sudden, he's found some pace in that McLaren and managing to try and catch Sparks. Diego started in last place. And Paris is now fighting with Tejas Leroy. And Paris just stays behind Tejas Leroy for the moment at least. Remember, it was raining in qualifying. People opted to start the hards and the mediums. No soft tyres, of course, because that strategy won't work out. Hasn't worked out for Rob because he pitted too early to switch over to the hard tyres. Then the virtual safety car came at the worst possible time, and that's why he's down in 9th place. Made no mistakes, did Rob, but other than the Zenki crash, which was early on in the race, look at Leroy struggling in the corner. He's got Zenki, not Zenki, Skeever behind him, and Paris has made an overtake. They're both ghosted, and into turn 1 we go. Paris is ahead of Leroy, and Leroy gets a time penalty, and he has the other Red Bull behind him. So Paris is ahead of Leroy. The Jaguar of Skeever is right behind Leroy, but Leroy will get DRS as well. So does Skeever. Paris goes defensive on the inside. Where will Leroy go? Around the outside he goes. Oh, they're both making contact, and that allows Skeever to get through on both of them. Or is it both of them? Yes, it is both of them. Leroy trying to go down the inside. Oh my goodness, Leroy's been aggressive today. He loves that overtaking manoeuvre. And Paris has just dropped 2 places. And Skeever's got a time penalty as well. This race has absolutely flown by it. I've enjoyed it. Me being tired as well, because I've been out all day. I've been tired, but this race has been thrilling to watch. Enjoy watching the German Grand Prix as always, no matter where it is. I mean, no matter what league it is, shall I say. Hockenheim always puts on a good show. Leroy behind Skeven. The gap in front, he's just skipped 2 gears, has Leroy. The gap up front is 2.4 seconds. Will it be too late for Sports, well, Media Pilot to try and overtake Sports? He needs to start making amends now to his lead, should I say. Look at Leroy's ERS compared to Skeven's. He starts saving that as much as possible. Down the inside from a long way back goes Taze Leroy. Can he get the move done? No. Switch back from Skeven. Paris trying to get involved as well. Leroy, a feisty driver, as we all know. How is Sparks' tyres holding on? Did a good job so far, but this man needs to start catching up. 1.9 is the gap. Can we see a last lap fight from the 2 leaders in front? Is the battle for 4th done yet? Don't think so from Leroy's point of view. He's got DRS, and that compromises Paris even more. Trying to fight the young PSGL champion. Look at the ERS that Skeven saved. Be more comfortable down the straight than Leroy. Will Leroy try and make another dive bomb? Is he going for it from a long way back? Oh my goodness, he is, and he makes contact, and he's lost a bit of his end plate as well. Who lost their end plate? Was it Skeven or Leroy? Looks to me like, I don't know who lost it, but Skeven is still under pressure from Leroy. Down the inside he goes again! Oh my goodness me! These two are fighting. That's now Paris getting closer, but Paris needs to be careful just in case Leroy goes crazy. I can't even speak for goodness sake. The gap to 1.3. He started to catch Media Pilot. Well, Media Pilot started to catch Sparks, let's say, but it's the last lap, so can he do it? Leah Spastic. I should probably say that on stream. Leroy just needs to calm down in the overtakes. He's so aggressive. That's Paris making his way through on Leroy. And he's got DRS for sure. But this has allowed Diego to just pull away. And the gap is 0.8 of a second from these two. Leroy down the inside, he just made contact with Paris. He spins him around. Oh my goodness me, oh my. That's Westy. That's 2 positions free. Benefit from Leroy's mistakes. But anyways, the top 2, look at that. It's a last lap battle, but I don't think Media Pilot will get it. As he comes across the line now, as he wins the German Grand Prix for Mercedes, Media Pilot in 2nd place. And Diego will get a podium, his first podium in HTA. Well done to him from starting last place. Fantastic race, but what about Leroy and Paris? Paris has just got ahead of Leroy. Skeven is ahead of Westy, he finishes 4th, ahead of Westy in 5th. Paris, where's Paris? He's in 5th, he finishes in 5th. Leroy is 7th. Mickey Ulitzi in 8th, he's just rejoined the session. No, Mickey Ulitzi, so Leroy's got a hell of a lot of time penalties. There is Rob then, down in 9th place. Who's that Leroy guy? Yeah, I think Leroy will definitely get penalties for his dive bombs. There were definitely dive bombs. Too aggressive is Leroy, he just needs to calm down. As the last man to cross this line is Rob to round off the German Grand Prix. Yep, so Leroy will be definitely under investigation as he took Paris out and he made him lose 2 positions to SD. 2-for-1 deal, as he would say, as Kamikaze would say. So Sparks wins the race for the German Grand Prix for Mercedes. Medium pilot, second place, started 8th. This man, Diego, driver of the day definitely, because he started in last place. Westy in 4th, remember he had the first lap incident. Paris in 5th, ahead of Skeever. Mikulitz 7th. Leroy, 9 penalties, so he finishes 8th. Red Bull, Rob in 9th. The Ginger downwards, retirement. 6 drivers retired in the process. What a fantastic German Grand Prix. This track always puts on a show. Even in different league races I've watched, it always puts on a good show. We had a wet qualifier session and a dry race to spice things up. Yeah, I told you, Diego last to podium, 3rd place. And we get some plates we'll get some plates from Paris to remove the kid, he says, from this league. Leroy though, he's made some good overtakes, but he's in the heat of the moment. He wants to stay ahead of him. He wants to fight the good drivers. Paris. Leroy is a young, feisty driver, PSGL champion. Yes, he could be a bottle sometimes. He's only young though, he's 11 I think, so he's got plenty of things to learn. And that's it. That's your round 3 for the HTA Grand Prix. The German Grand Prix for HTA round 3 has been done and dusted. So join us next time out for round 4. I don't know what track it is, I think it's Hungary. But anyways, tune in at 8 o'clock for HJ yet again for round 4. Been a fantastic race in Germany as always. We'll see you later then.